Hi, my name's Lucy Mills, founder of Your Ideal Fit, a service providing premium in-home and online Pilates-based fitness training. I'm about to take you through a Pilates ball workout. I'm going to be using the large Swiss ball, the smaller mini stability ball, and then the small weighted toning balls. We're going to begin with a warm-up, then come into lower body work, upper body work, and then down onto the mat to work our core and spinal mobility. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoy. Okay, we are going to start with the mini stability ball for our warm-up and lower body work while we're standing. So, taking the ball between the palms of the hands. Shoulders nice and wide, spine nice and tall, feet hip distance, just lift up the toes, spread them out, feel a 4-point even base under each foot. We're just going to breathe in through the nose, out through pursed lips. Just take a good 3 to 5 of these just to feel that deep core start to fire up, corset hugging, pelvic floor engaging. And then when you've done a good 3 to 5 of these, reach those arms up to the ceiling. Let's go for a roll down. So dropping the arms, nod the chin to the chest, roll down, bending the knees at the end. Rolling up and reach the arms back up to the ceiling. Now I want to add a little upper body extension by pulling the ball to the chest, lifting the chest, lifting the eye line. Restack the spine as you reach the arms up. You're back to your start position. Let's go for another 2. Roll it down. Exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. Exhale as you pull the ball to the chest and extend, slight tuck of the tail so we avoid the full spine extending. Reaching those arms back up. Let's side bend, shoulders down. Side bend one way and then the opposite direction. And I want you to try and maintain the same distance between each arm and each ear for this whole series. So we don't just get the arms moving and hitting the side of the head. We are working from that waist. Let's go for another 1 each side. Exhale, inhale, final 1. And reach those arms down in front for a little retraction, protraction, retraction, protraction. I'll just turn around for you. Gliding the shoulder blades narrower, gliding the shoulder blades wider. Just finding the range of movement available in the shoulders, then set them in the middle. Let's come into a little rotation. So feet are still hip distance, twist, drawing the ball into the chest, looking toward that back elbow, past that back shoulder. Inhale, face front. Exhale, twist in the opposite direction. Inhale, face front. You can almost feel this front hand do a little push into that twist, almost like it's initiating that rotation for you. Looking past that back shoulder, exhale, inhale, last 3, and last 2, and last 1. All right, let's have a standing saw. Feet a bit wider, shoulder width apart, reaching the arms up. We inhale, rotate. Exhale, roll down with that rotation. Inhale, restack, and exhale, face front. Inhale, rotate, chin to chest, roll down. And roll back up, and face front. Let's go for 1 more each direction. Inhale. Inhale, back up. And if you need to take a slight bend in the knees, just to release for hamstring flexibility, that is okay. And face front. Okay, that spine should be nice and warm. Let's come into lower body. So I'm going to set my feet parallel, a wide hip, narrow shoulder distance apart. And we're going to come into our squats. So again, the ball is between the palms of my hands. As I inhale, I sit back into the squat and press the arms on the ball forward. Slight push in if you can. Exhale, drive back up with the glutes, bringing the ball back to the chest. Inhale, sit back. Exhale, drive up, a little push in on the ball, activate through the pecs, through the chest. Inhale, exhale. Then we want to be mindful that those knees are tracking over the second and third toe and the pelvis and spine is staying neutral, especially because we're pushing the ball forward. What we want to avoid is rounding and hunching the back, and also because we're squeezing that ball, you don't want to overly round in the shoulders, so keep everything nice and long. Let's go for about 8 to 10 of these. So let's have 4 more. Exhale, inhale, exhale, keep the back of the neck long. 2, driving up through the heel, and last 1. Perfect. Now let's work our lateral rotation. So standing nice and wide, wider than the shoulders, wrapping the glutes around the thighs so the knees and the toes shine out to the diagonals. Ball into the chest once more. Now reach the arms up as we slide down to a plie and pull the ball into the chest as we stand back up. Inhale and exhale. So the difference between a plie and a squat, we're now no longer tipping forward and hinging forward at the hip. It's like we're sliding our spine down a wall. Knees tracking over second and third toe. As always, let's have 3 more. And 2, inhale. Hold the next one down, and I just want you to rest the ball underneath the forearm on one thigh, and just take a few side bends here, rolling over that ball, almost like these fingers are trying to reach past the knee. Let's have 2 more. Exhale, inhale, last one, keep that plie. Should feel those thighs start to warm up. Cross it over under the forearm. Exhale, inhale. Let's have 4 more so we're balanced out. Stay nice and low in that plie. 3 and 2 and last one. And bring the ball to the chest and stand all the way up. Well done. Okay, we're gonna stand wide parallel, toes facing forward, wider than the shoulders. We're going to come into a lunge and cross over, add a little rotation. Stand up tall and almost swing that ball round and up. So we're swinging it across and down and up. And you'll notice one heel is lifting as I come into that rotation. So we're going low to high. Inhale, exhale. Let's have another 3 and 2. Follow the ball with the eye line. Last one. Okay, let's come to the other side. Low to high. Rotate, chop over that lower thigh. Exhale as we twist and lift. Inhale as we go down. Last 4. Keep the movement fluid. 3 and 2. And last one here. Perfect, well done. Okay, back to our lateral rotation. This time, first position. Heels together, toes apart, wrapping the glutes around the thighs. I'm gonna do it sideways so you can see the movement a little easier. We're gonna do a single leg lunge. So as we lunge, the back leg stays straight, it slides away, the ball goes up, we create that long diagonal line. As we return to first, we lower the arms. Single leg plie and close. Single leg lunge and close. So this front leg is doing the bend and the stretch, and this back leg is gliding back and in. At the same time, ball up, ball down. Let's have 1 more each side, and we're gonna hold the final one. Now, make those legs parallel, knees and toes face forward. Ball to knee as you draw the knee forward. Ball up, create that long diagonal line. Inhale, exhale. For 6, stay low on that front leg, shoulders down. Zip up that corset. 4 and 3 and 2. Last one, you're gonna hold it here. If you can, back leg goes up an inch, tap. Really lifting right from under the crease of that butt cheek. Zip up that corset, keep that back leg straight. Let's have 4, shoulders down. 3, 2, hold it up, front leg, take it pulse down. 7, 6, 8 in total. For 4 and 3, knee over second toe. Whew, and stand up. Okay, other side. So we just want to hold one lunge, make the legs parallel, ball to knee, tap the floor. Ball to knee, tap the floor. Stay low with that front leg. Keep breathing. For 4 and 3. Last 2. Okay, get ready to keep that back leg straight. Float it 1 inch up and down. Working the back chain of the leg. 6, 5, shoulders down. Long diagonal line from ball to back foot. And hold it up. Front leg, pulse it, 8 down, 7. Last 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Well done. Lower body and warm up, done. Let's come down onto the mat and come into our upper body workout. So we're done with the mini stability ball for a while. I'm now going to use the small weighted toning balls and the large Pilates Swiss ball. I'm going to do upper body, but it's really important that the core is switched on when we start to introduce the large Swiss ball. So I'm just going to pop the balls on the floor for a second, and I'm going to do a balance challenge. Great way to wake up the core. It should be warm by now, but still. It's a nice thing to do at the start of the large Swiss ball workout. So either hands on the hips or out to the side if you want even more of a challenge. And we're just going to make sure the feet aren't too far away from the ball, they're hip distance apart. And we're going to start by peeling one heel at a time up off the floor, making sure you're aligning it over that second and third toe. It doesn't need to lift too high. And I want you to imagine that I've got a few strands of your hair and I'm pulling you up toward the ceiling. So you've got that longest lengthened spine sensation you can get. You want to do about 8 of these, and then if you can, I quite like arms out to the side, it's almost like you're on a bit of a tightrope here. Peel the foot off and lower it down. Peel the foot off and lower it down. And you will notice that one foot is harder to get off the floor than the other. So grow tall, exhale, inhale. Almost imagine there's chewing gum under your foot so you're just about able to get it off the floor. Exhale, inhale. That's it. Last one. Okay, now final challenge. If you can, reach and lengthen the leg and put it down. Reach and lengthen and put it down. So keep going tall. You will wobble a little bit, that's normal. For 4, growing tall. And 3, concentrating quite hard. Last 2. And last 1. Okay, so that's the sensation you want when you're sitting on the ball. It's quite easy when you're here to sort of collapse into it because it's nice and comfortable, but you want to feel that length and you want to feel that corset and pelvic floor engage. Okay, now let's go into our upper body with the weights. Starting with the arms reaching down the side. Now they probably won't be able to touch the body because the ball is going to be in the way, so slightly away from you is perfectly fine. And let's just start with some bicep curls. Nice global muscle to wake up first. Exhale, inhale, wide collarbone, wide shoulders. Let's have 4 more. And 3, feet not too far away from you, hip distance apart, 2 more. Okay, let's come into our Reformer Pilates front rowing series. Exhale and inhale. So I have a very soft elbow. I'm not locked into the elbow, but I'm not too angular that I'm doing a reach and a bend. It's a sweep and lift. Exhale, palms facing up to the ceiling. Let's have 2 more here. And let's do little circles, or more like our teardrops in Reformer. Breathing in and out, wherever feels right for you. And reverse direction for 8 and 7. No leaning back, keep that body nice and tall. For 4 and 3, let's do our hugger tree. Let's start fingertips close and inhale, open. Exhale, inhale, open. So like our ballet first to second position. And open. 4 and 3. Shoulders down. Try not to take the arms behind you. 2 and last 1. Okay, bring them in, bending at the elbow. Let's finish with our offering. Exhale, reach. Inhale, open. Forward, bend it in. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Palms facing up to the ceiling. You want to make sure when you open those arms that they don't go behind you, otherwise we pop the chest and flare the rib cage. Let's just have a few more here. That's it. Arms shoulder height. Last 2. And last 1, keep breathing. Exhale, inhale, and last 1. Very nice. Okay, for the next exercise, I'm going to do it sideways along my mat so you can see the angle a little bit better. So, I recommend placing the ball almost off the edge of the mat, so you've got the full length of the mat in front of you. And we're just going to cross the arms with the weights over the chest, over the front of the body, so they don't get in the way. Feet are hip distance apart. And almost like your half roll back, you post the tailbone underneath the body, almost coming into your C curve, and you start to let the spine roll forward along the ball, allowing the feet to slowly walk forward. Do small little steps, make sure the feet are even so one is not in front of the other, and you finish when the head, the neck and the shoulders are resting on the ball, and we're engaging through the glutes so we don't let the pelvis drop. Lift up so you get that nice open alignment through the front of the hip and the thigh, pelvis in neutral. Okay, let's work into the chest. Arms reaching up in a nice curved position. Inhale, open. Exhale, curve up and over. Let's go for 8. keeping the glutes engaged the whole time. Feel like the knees are reaching away from the shoulders. Let's have 4 and 3 and 2. Now we're going to add a little extra glute engagement. So we open the arms as they curve up and over. Just relax the glutes off a little bit, allowing the pelvis to sink just a little. Squeeze the glutes and lift as you open the arms. Inhale, 7. Exhale, 6. Trying not to let yourself roll forward and back on the ball. Think about just going straight up and down, engaging through the glutes. Let's have another 4 and 3. Well done, last 2. And last one, hold it up. Let's go back to bicep curls. It's a strong muscle. They can always take an extra set or 2. It's almost like I'm resting my elbow and my upper arm on a shelf, and I'm just thinking about sending the toning ball to my shoulder. Keep those glutes engaged, keep those knees reaching away. Let's have, exhale, 4, inhale, open, and 3. Last 2. And last 1. Okay, just cross those arms over the chest as we did at the start. Now we're going to come back halfway up to our C curve. So look towards your knees. Slowly walk the feet back in until you are halfway back to where you started. I'm in my C curve. My lower shoulder, my mid back is resting on the ball. My legs are hip distance, maybe about shoulder distance, and I'm going to reach those arms out in front of me, and I'm going to do a wide row. Exhale, inhale. Elbows rowing out to the side. Make sure they don't go behind you. Shoulder, elbow, wrist, all at the same height. For 4, eye line looking forward, engaging through the core. Last 2, and hold it here. Now let's work a little rotation. Flip up and down, flip up and down. Upper arm is staying still, palms forward, palms down. 4, trying not as you get tired to lose the contraction in the abdominals and open the body out. Feel like you're shortening between the rib and the hip, almost like your belly button is pressing through and up. Last 2. And last 1, overhead press to finish. Exhale, inhale. Make sure those arms are slightly in front of you. You should start to feel those thighs as well by this point. Let's have 4. Very nice, everyone. 3, last 2, and last 1. Cross those arms over. Now continue to engage through those abdominals. Walk yourself in and up. Slowly, 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 until you are back to a seated position. Okay, I'm going to use one toning ball for the next exercise. So I can pop the other one down on the floor. I'm going to come down onto my knees. I'm going to do a little side kneeling work. So I'm up on both knees. The big ball, the large Swiss ball, is right up at the side of my thigh. The opposite leg is going to reach away and just rest on the midline of the foot. And then I'm going to lift up and over the ball and rest my hand on the floor. Now, for some of you, you may find that the hand can't reach the floor. If that's the case, just pop a couple of books underneath so you get this nice long alignment from your head to your foot. Okay, we're just going to work into the arm. We're going to feel the core a lot on this one. You're going to keep the arm nice and straight. And as we lift the arm, we're also going to lift the leg. So my palm is facing forward, both arm and leg lift, and arm and leg lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Feel like you're lifting out of that lower waist side. Don't feel like you're ever sinking into the ball. Exhale, inhale. Let's have 4 more. And 3, looking forward as opposed to that foot of the working leg. 2, and last one, you're going to hold it up for me. Top arm forward and up, only shoulder height. Exhale, inhale. You will really feel that core switch on now to avoid any rotation. Make sure as the arm goes up, it doesn't go behind you, otherwise it's going to get really hard to keep that balance. 3, last 2, breathe out, breathe in. Last one, you're going to hold it up, pulse that leg up for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Whew. Should feel that glute. So it is upper body. But as we're working sideways, it's just nice to add in a little side lying glute work. Okay, other side. So bring that ball right up against the thigh. If it's not, and you then start to lean, already you can see that that hand is never going to touch the floor. So again, you can use a couple of books underneath the hand if you wish. Pull it in first. I quite like using this top hand just to hold the ball in place, because it can be quite unpredictable, rolling around all over the place. Okay, opening the shoulders, lifting up through that lower waist. This bottom hand and this long leg foot should be in a straight line with each other. Arm and leg, lift and lower. Exhale, lift and lower. We go 6. Exhale, 5. This leg is parallel, the knee is facing forward, so we work the side chain of the leg. Last 3. Last 2. Get ready to wake that core up a little bit more. Exhale. Inhale. You will really feel those obliques kick in to avoid any rotation coming into the body. Exhale. Inhale. 4. Control the range of movement of that arm. 3. Last 2. And last 1. Hold the arm up. Pulse the leg up. For 8 and 7 and 6 and 5. Last 4. And 3 and 2 and 1. Whew, done. Well done. Okay, next exercise, we're going to come into a little bit of upper body extension. So just like our breaststroke in mat work, but I'm going to use the large stability ball. Swiss ball, not stability ball. We've already used the stability ball. Too many Pilates balls in this series. We're going to use the large Swiss ball for this one. But I need you to find something like a wall or the base of a sofa to rest your heels against. So I'm just going to grab my sofa to help with this one. And just like that, through the magic of YouTube, there is my sofa. Okay, let's keep the ball here. We're going to use both toning balls as well. I'm just going to quickly show you my feet, the position of my feet. I'm going to have a narrow first position. Narrow meaning I can only fit the fist or about an apple-sized space between my toes. So that's the position of my feet. Let's set up the toning balls. I'm going to just rest my heels against my sofa. You can do it against a wall, against a cabinet. My heels are together, my toes are slightly apart, but it's really important that you press the heels against that surface. Rest the tummy on the large ball and then press away. So readjust the feet so you get that perfect mini V position. Really make sure the heels are connected to the wall. Now you'll see here, by starting with the ball on the belly button, by the time you extend your legs, the chest is over the front of the ball. So my tummy is resting on the ball, not my whole torso. And then I'm going to take one toning ball, weighted toning ball into each hand. My arms are straight, but I'm just going to rest the toning balls on the floor. And I'm going to really engage through that glute. So tuck that bottom under so the lower back isn't sinking. And relax your head and shoulders over the ball. I'm going to, just like breaststroke or even long box in the reformer, I'm going to open the shoulders, lengthen, lift head, chest, and lift the arms up in line with the legs. Now, if you're not pressing those heels into that surface behind you, squeezing those glutes, wrapping them around the thighs, you're going to find the balance quite tricky here. So really use that lower body to help stabilize you. Open the shoulders, lengthen and lift, lifting the arms as well. They don't need to go so high that you start to roll and hunch into the shoulders. Let's go for 8 in total, so 6 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now what we want to avoid, like any version of breaststroke, is lifting the chin too high that we crank into the back of the neck. Back of the neck stays long, lift the chest. Long, even curve from the base of the shoulders to the crown of the head. Let's have a few more here. If you start to feel this in the lower back, 2 things you can think about. A, don't lift so high. B, tuck that pelvis under even more. Don't let that lower back sink. Okay, next one we're going to hold it, triceps. So this is really like long box in the reformer. Bend and stretch. Imagine you're holding a really big newspaper now at the back of the arm so that upper arm doesn't move. You'll notice my hands have to go a bit wider than normal just because the ball is in the way, but that's okay. Still keep that sensation of hugging the upper arm in. Let's have a few more here. And final one, and lengthen all the way back down. Well done. we are done with the toning balls, so I'm just gonna roll those out of the way and just take a shell stretch like we would after any breaststroke. So scoop the tummy, flex forward, almost like my mini stability ball is just stuck on my belly button. Okay, now we're gonna use this in a very similar way to our previous exercise. I'm gonna come right back off my mat here. I'm up on the knees, and I'm just gonna set my belly button on top of the ball, just as I did in the previous exercise. You wanna come quite far back here because you're going to walk forward. So, really important on this one, hands down on the floor, squeeze those legs together. You almost want to think about a plank. Very gently walk forward until your knees are on the top of the ball. Then, hands are about shoulder width apart. Angle your fingers slightly in. We're gonna go for press ups. Inhale down for 2, exhale up for 2. Now you are in a plank here. The further forward you go, the more challenge you'll find. So if you want even more of a challenge, keep walking forward until the front of your ankles are on the ball. Inhale. Exhale. Now I'm more interested in the movement here, maintaining neutral spine, neutral pelvis. So don't let your chin lead the way. Don't let the lower back sink. Let's have 4 more. And 3. Inhale down. Exhale up. Last one. And then gently walk back. Slowly, slowly. Hopefully in alignment. Not like me, going off at a funny angle. And I'm just gonna pull that ball out of the way and come into a shell stretch again. I won't go all the way back. I'll walk forward just so you can see that shell stretch. So if you have the space, just walk all the way back until the feet touch the floor, and then you can sit the bottom back over the feet. All right, final upper body exercise, triceps. So I'm gonna sit on the floor, large Swiss ball in front of me, 2 feet, heels resting on top of the ball, knees bent. My hands are behind me, slightly wider than my hips, fingers facing forward, and we bend and stretch. Inhale, exhale, as we would on a normal tricep dip exercise with the seat down. Usually the feet would be on the floor. So it's a little extra challenge here because the ball wobbles around a bit. You have to use the inner thighs, you have to use the core to keep the ball in the same place. Okay, that's level 1. Level 2, get ready, quite a gear change on this one. Bring the hands a bit closer. Really get those inner thighs engaged. Press down into the ball and lift the seat. And we go for another 8. Now, this is much more of a challenge to the stability. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. For 4, keep breathing. And 3, last 2, last 1. Well done. Okay, just open the legs, just so you can hold the ball between the knees. And we're just gonna do a little tricep stretch on each side, holding the elbow, lengthening up through to the crown of the head, coming into a side bend. Just open one arm back. Feel that stretch through the front of the chest as a little rotation creeps into the spine. Other side. One arm across, hook under at the wrist. Lift the chest open, other side, one arm across. And then just interlink the fingers. Lift the chest, lift the eye line. Okay, let's stick with the large Swiss ball. We're gonna come into our lower body on the mat. So I'm just gonna take a lie down. I'm gonna make sure that my head is on the mat comfortably. My legs are straight. The ball is under the heels of the feet. You want to make sure that the heels are touching in the middle of the ball. If they're slightly off center, you'll soon feel that the body naturally pulls the ball out of alignment. We're going to come into our hip rolls. So arms resting down on the floor. Exhale, imprint the lower spine, squeeze the glutes, peel the body up to a bridge position. Feel like the feet are reaching away from the shoulders. Inhale, hold, exhale, soften the breastbone down and roll down through that spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Let's go for another 7. Articulating through that spine as we would if the feet were down and the knees were bent. This is a little bit more work for the core and the inner thighs to keep A, the body in a straight alignment, B, the ball in the same place. And roll it down. Check in with the shoulders that they're not peeling off at the sides and protracting. Let's have another 3. Roll it down. And 2. It's not quite as high a lift as when the feet are down and the knees are bent. Okay, next one we're going to hold it up. We're going to flex the feet and find our mini first position. And we're going to keep the lift under the pelvis and go for a bend and a stretch. So it's very similar to a hamstring curl, which we are going to do later. But this one's on a turnout, keeping our lateral rotation. 4 more. And 3. And 2. And last 1. Lengthen the legs, make them parallel, and roll all the way back down. Okay, if you need to adjust where the feet are, which sometimes happens throughout an exercise, you can. We're going to do 1 hip roll, peel the body up. Now we're going to work into single leg. Slide the toe up to the knee and slide it back down. Slide the toe up to the knee and slide it back down. Alternate. Exhale, 6. Now it's really important that you return the foot to the middle of the ball. If it's not, the second you take that one leg off and you're resting on a single leg, if it's off center, it's just going to pull the ball right off to the side. 1 more each side. Your core is working like crazy here, your glutes are, and roll it back down. So what I'll try and do for each exercise here is roll down in the middle. You can reset the body. It's quite important with the ball that you don't get out of alignment. Once you do, you start to tense and try and hold the ball with muscles that shouldn't really be coming into the equation. So we do 1 exercise, let's roll down, reset, up to the next one. If that was enough, just repeat what you did. If you can, we're going to come into our développé. So check the feet are in the center, roll up. You draw it up to retiré, lengthen up, keep it straight as it goes down. Draw it up to retiré, lengthen it up, keep it straight as it goes down. So very similar to our single leg work on the reformer. Breathe out, breathe in. 4. Keep that even lift under the pelvis. 3. Last 2. And last 1. Lengthen and roll it down. Okay, final one here. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale, roll it up. Unfold 1 leg to the ceiling. Lower lift that pelvis. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, and 2. Final bit, lower lift that leg. 4, and 3. You can do it. 2 more. This is the tough one. Last one. Okay, keep the pelvis up, lower the foot. Unfold the other leg to the ceiling. Lower lift. 8, and 7, and 6. Evenly lifting that pelvis for 4, and 3, and 2. Lower lift that leg. You can do it. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Lower the leg, and roll it down. Well done. Okay, take a little breather. We are going to finish with our parallel hamstring curl. Feet flexed. We've done this one on a turnout already. Now let's work the belly of the hamstring. Roll it up. Bend those legs in and out for 8. Now, how much you bend in and out really does depend on the ball. If I was to come in much more than this, I can already feel that my feet would just slide off the ball and the ball would roll away. So it might feel slightly reduced in the beginning. That's okay. If you keep that lift under the pelvis, you will definitely work that hamstring. 3, 2, last one, lengthen and roll all the way down. Well done. Let's have a stretch for the back of the leg. It will definitely need it by now. Okay, so I'm going to roll the ball in enough that one leg can just rest with a bend at the knee over that ball, and I'm just going to reach that other leg up. You can either hold behind the hamstring or up behind the calf, whatever feels right. If you do have a towel or a fitness circle, it might be nice to just hook the foot so your upper body can relax as you stretch. Coming into the other side. Lengthen up, relax the head, neck and shoulders. Settle the breath. Okay, Let's continue to work the glutes in a 4-point kneeling position. So I'm going to set this quite far back on the mat because we're going to walk forward after the initial exercise. And we're going to come into our swimming prep. So just as we would hands and knees down on our normal mat work exercise, we're now going to do hands and feet down. So my legs are shoulder width, my hands are shoulder width. You'll notice here that my legs are straight. I can't bend them because the knees aren't going to touch the floor. So we're going to keep the legs straight. Make sure the ball is right underneath the belly button. You want to be perfectly balanced between the arms and the legs. Now, I quite like slightly turning my legs out here. The extra engagement from the glutes really does help with the balance and the stability. And we're going to come into our swimming. One arm, one leg, opposite arm to leg. Exhale, inhale, and you will really notice here that one side is a little bit more wobbly than the other. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. So shoulders are wide. We're keeping that sensation of squashing a grape at the back of the armpit. We're not allowing ourselves to sink or tip or lean. Let's just have one more. So we want to aim for about 8 or 10 of these. Okay, now we're just coming into legs. I'm going to return my legs to parallel. One leg up and down. Exhale, inhale. So don't focus first on the height. Focus on the core, switching on so you don't feel like the leg is lifting so high that the lower back starts to sink. Feel like the ball is almost really hot and you're trying to lift your belly button off the ball without hunching into the shoulders. 2 more. Last one, hamstring curl. Exhale, inhale, wide shoulders. Almost like your knee and your thigh are on a shelf. Let's have 4, maintaining that height with the thigh. Last 2. Okay, hold it here. Little pulses. Lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And place that foot down. Let's go to the other side. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Make sure there's not too much weight either in the upper body or in the lower body. It should be perfectly balanced. For 4 and 3, working into that glute. Last 2, hold it here, hamstring curl. Exhale, again, thigh resting on an imaginary shelf. Exhale, inhale. Let's have 4 and 3. Last 2. Holding it here, little pulses, lift and lift and lift. Last 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, we're going to repeat that in a turnout. So open the legs a bit wider, wrap those glutes around the thighs, lift and lower. So now your knee is shining off to the diagonal as opposed to straight down to the floor. Exhale, inhale for 4 and 3, keep those shoulders wide, spine long and neutral. Hold it here. We bend and stretch. So it's very similar to that hamstring curl, except the leg is set in that turned out position from the start. So the thigh and the knee is slightly open. And 3, last 2. Hold it here, little pulses. Lift the thigh, lift the knee. Keep the pelvis as square as possible. Last 2 and last 1. Lowering it down, ready to balance out on the other side. Exhale, inhale, 7 and 6 and 5. Last 4. Opening up through the front of the hip. Last 2. Get ready, hold it up. We pulse. In and out, in and out. Last 4, keep that thigh and knee still, opening up. Okay, hold it, little pulses up, lift. Trying not to tip the pelvis. And 3, and 2, and 1. Perfect, well done. Okay, now we're gonna walk ourselves forward a little bit. So currently my belly button is on the top of the ball. Now I'm gonna walk forward so that my hip bones are on the top of the ball. It's really not much of a shift at all, but it's enough of a shift that my feet leave the floor and the hands are taking a little bit more weight through the arms. And we're just going to come into our swimming legs. Now I want you to keep it small and quick. Try to avoid any wobble back and forth with the pelvis. The ball will make that quite a challenge, so there will be a tiny wobble going on. Lateral rotation, keep wrapping those glutes around the thighs. Breathe in for 4, breathe out for 4, legs are straight, breathe in for 4, and breathe out for 4. Okay, little beats like reformer, flex those feet, beat in, working those inner thighs. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's our lower body complete. Well done. Come into a shell stretch. So walk back until the feet touch the floor, the knees touch the floor, and just sit back into a shell stretch. You can open the knees a bit wider and flatten the body out a bit more here to get more into the glutes as opposed to the lower back, but see what the body feels it needs. Okay, let's come back to our mini stability ball and come into our final series, working our core. Okay, magic of YouTube once more, mini stability ball. Okay, let's come down onto the back. All right, we're going to take our ball. We're going to imprint, lift one leg to tabletop, second leg to tabletop. Now I'm going to place the ball between my ankles. Make sure you've got it in a decent place so you don't have to change the position once you've started. Readjust so the thigh is over the hip, not the tummy. We're going to keep that thigh still in space. We exhale, lengthen the legs. Inhale, drop the foot back down to a tabletop position. I quite like keeping my hands here for this one. It just keeps that thigh in that alignment. Exhale, inhale. 4 and 3 and 2. You're going to hold the legs up, keep them straight, squeeze the ball. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to combine. We bend, stretch, up, exhale, squeeze twice. Bend, stretch, up, squeeze, squeeze. Keep that core strong. Okay, let's add some flexion. When the legs stretch, flex head, shoulders up. Lie down, lift, hold. 2 little squeezes at the top. 2 more. Last one. Good. Grab that ball. Nearly. Okay, you're going to place the ball between the inner thighs and we're just going to take a shoulder bridge lift. So I'm just going to add in just 5 shoulder bridge lifts just to open up through the hip flexors if they get a bit grippy. 2 more. Last one. Great, well done. Okay, I'm going to keep the ball between the inner thighs for this one. I'm going to imprint, one leg tabletop, second leg tabletop. I'm going to flex my feet. I'm going to shift the legs forward just an inch. Return. Now this really challenges that imprint. We don't need to stretch the legs. We don't need to do a heel tap. It's just a shift and return. Making sure that shift doesn't become so big that you start to overarch into the lower back. And if you feel strong enough to do all this in neutral, you can do it in neutral, no problem. Exhale, inhale, final one here. Okay, flex head, shoulders up 8 times. Elbows in the peripheral vision. Space of an apple between the chin and the chest as you lift. Last 2. Hold the next one up, give me 8 pulses. And lie back down. Well done. Back to bridge. Just 5 of them. Open up the hip flexors. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Okay. Ball between the hands on this one. We're going to imprint. One leg tabletop, second leg tabletop, toe taps. Exhale, inhale. So I'm keeping the bend at the knee. I'm keeping the 90-degree angle at the knee joint. I'm moving the thigh forward and down. For 4. Shoulders wide. Last 2. And last 1. Join the legs, flex the feet. If you can, double leg. Exhale. Inhale. Now it's going to be much smaller. You've got double the weight to support. Now you can either keep the arms where they are or add a double arm reach back. Let's go for 4 more. Contain that rib cage. Don't let the arms go all the way to the floor. Last 2. And last 1. Perfect. You can always just test the water, see if those legs can go a little bit lower. 5 bridge. And 4. And 3. Last 2. And last 1. Okay, we're going to come up to a seated position just to do a little bit of flexion and rotation. So, up we come. We're going to sit, knees bent, feet flat, hip distance apart. Ball between the palms of the hands. We're going to scoop the tummy, half roll back. Do a little half figure of 8 and sit back up. Exhale, roll halfway back. Half a figure of 8. Almost like a little drop, scoop and lift. Exhale, drop, scoop and lift, sit up. Exhale, drop, scoop and lift, sit up. 1 more each side, then we're going to hold it and do a full figure of 8 movement. All right, roll it back, hold it. Maybe bring the feet in a little bit so they don't fly up into the air. Exhale, twist, inhale, front. Exhale, twist, inhale, front. 4, 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and sit all the way up. Slightly rest the hands at the knee, lift the chest, lift the eye line. Okay, we're just going to finish with a little extra shoulder stabilization. We're going to come into our plank. We're going to still keep this mini stability ball. Okay, up onto the hands and the knees. I'm just going to rest the ball in the middle here. Hopefully it stays still. And we're going to tuck the toes under, hands are under the shoulders. Actually, I'm going to place that ball near the hand that I'm going to use. So, knees together, toes tucking under, hands under the shoulders, squash a grape at the back of the armpit. Lift the knees an inch and step back. Now you can either have the feet together or shoulder width. And we're just going to roll the ball. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Place it across and don't let it roll away. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Let it roll away. Hold that plank, legs together, engage everything, inner thighs, glutes, long body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees down, shell stretch. And slowly roll it back up. Okay, let's finish with a roll down, feet hip distance, big breath in, wide shoulders, nod the chin to the chest on the exhale, roll down. Heavy arms, heavy head, bend the knees. Shake out the arms, shake out the head, big deep breath in. Slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Wide shoulders, long spine. That completes our Pilates Ball workout. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe below to get access to my other Pilates-based workouts. Thanks again for joining me. I hope to see you again soon.